What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
All right. How's everybody doing? It's Friday night. That means Radio Baloney Live, Friday night. I am your host, Richie Baloney. Well, looks like we got, looks like everybody showed up early tonight. All right. This is good. Looks like the chat is already going nuts. Who we got in here? We got Spam Bot Fodder. We got Radio Streamer. We got Cobra. We don't usually see Cobra till later on in the evening. We got Rumbum. We got JJ Nevada. All right. Great to see everybody. Good to see everybody. As you can see, we have a new addition to our cooking channel tonight. I think this is a good one. I had to watch it 10 times before I even noticed there was some bruschetta involved. It's excellent. So, hope everybody had a good week. Let's take a look at the chat. Let's just say hi to everybody. We got Candle Monkey. Do we have Candle Monkey? Did I see him? There's Candle Monkey. How you doing? Let's see. Nevada's saying, good evening, deplorables. Hello, all you wonderful deplorables and garbage people. Let's see. Rumbum says, speaking of commie hate, well, we speak about commie hate here quite a lot. Just finished a first-time viewing of the movie Salt, and it was good. Shame it didn't get the sequel. Never seen it, but maybe I'll check it out. Cobra says, good evening, True Gina. True Gina haters. Let's see. Rumbum says, God fucking damn, whatever she's making, I need it. And hey, if she comes with it, that'd be swell too. I don't believe that she does. I'm sorry to tell you that. Hey, we got Much Joy in the chat. Good to see ya. And we've got Rosie. How you doing, Rosie? I grabbed a couple of the things you sent me on X for the show tonight, as I always do. Probably won't come till later on. All right, so what are we talking about tonight? Well, lots of stuff. I mean, we got, will Elon Musk buy MSNBC? That's an interesting question, isn't it? I think that it's a joke. I think it's kidding around. Donald Trump Jr. and Elon were joking about it, I think. But you just don't know with Elon. I mean, he bought X. He just bought it, right? MSNBC, a lot less money. I mean, still a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but a lot less than X. So we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about HBO backs the inclusion of Harry Potter author in show based on book series amid accusations of transphobia. So scary. So it looks like maybe woke is dying. It looks like woke is dying. HBO does not care that a bunch of fringe activists are really cross at J.K. Rowling for saying normal things. So Maybe HBO just looked at what she said, and we're going to do that. We're going to go through. This is actually, we're going to spend some time on this one. Maybe they actually looked at the things she's actually said and went, that's kind of normal. Maybe that's what happened. Or maybe they just care about making money now, and they don't care what some fringe lunatics think. It could be something like that. I don't know, but we got lots of stuff to go on about this. It's going to be a fun one. And it's going to take a kind of a detour too, an exciting detour. Let's see, what do we got here? We're going to talk about, we got a couple of things here on Trump and some of the things he's planning to do. We'll talk about that. That's, of course, important. We're going to talk about, Trugina a little bit. I know it hurts. It hurts me as well. We're going to talk about this Jaguar ad because I don't know what the hell's going on here. I don't know. I'm just saying that maybe woke is dead, and then maybe this will be the thing that actually does finally kill woke, though. Maybe this will be such a failure, such a disaster for Jaguar that will be the thing that kills it. But anyway, we've got a bunch of stuff on this. I think it will be fun. I mean, Joe Pesci saw it, and he said this.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
I know. What the fuck is this piece of shit? I don't know. It's wokeness, and nobody likes it. It's a weird. I thought that maybe this was going to be like a trick, and then they'd switch it to something that wasn't retarded. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. We're going to talk about Tulsi a little bit, Director of National Intelligence, and just some of the unbelievable bullshit that's been spread about her. I've got a bunch of stuff here. I think it's interesting. So we're going to take a look at this. We're going to take a look at the DNI itself. Just a quick look. What does it actually mean? Like, what is that actual job? We'll take a quick look at that. We're going to see Poilievre is saying some things that make sense. We're going to move on to... we'll talk briefly about Matt Gaetz, I think. Briefly, because that might have been a bit of 4D chess there. We just don't know. We'll have to find out. We're going to look at some Trump derangement, of course. She just looks like, she really does look like a dog, doesn't she? Like a bulldog. Good Lord. And we've got some deranged people here. Trump deranged. Sadly, I don't know if they'll ever recover, but we're going to take a peek at them because it's fun, because we like making fun of them, don't we? Then we've got just a bunch of random stuff all put together in this live stream folder. It's just lots of stuff. You got dingbats, you got smart people, you got some memes in here. You got all kinds of things. So we'll go through that at the end. That will be the last part of the show. Of course, we have our muses. We've added one more to our cooking muses for our cooking shows. But of course, we still have Sandwich Girl, who's just a classic and just... inimitable, I will say. And then, of course, the best of all, Noodle Lady, who really, I think she was the original muse for the channel. And I think will always remain as the top muse for the channel, because I just don't know if anything can beat Noodle Lady. And in terms of a cooking show, it just doesn't get better. And then, of course, we have some other ones as well, some other palate cleansers for when things get a little too dark. I mean, here's a lady who's fantastic on a fence. And just if you break your knife, you might need to know how to fix it. That's the only thing this video is about. So if we need a palate cleanser, we've got some sports, of course. That's good form. Sanding, of course, we like as well on this channel. So, you can request any of these. If things get a little too heavy and we just need a palate cleanser, you can go ahead and do that. And let's not forget the puppy palate cleanser, which is just wholesome, isn't it? Look at those puppies and their best friend, the duck. It's just awesome. Or is that a goose? I don't know. Duck. The saying it's a duck, I don't know. It looks more like a goose to me, really. Anyway, it's adorable. Doesn't really matter. And then, of course, we have, don't let me forget, we have Grok versus Trudeau. Every Friday until Trudeau is no longer in office, I get Grok to write a poem. Grok is the AI for X, formerly Twitter. I get it, try to promote Justin Trudeau. There must be 3 things involved. Justin Trudeau must get blackface. He must get a vaginoplasty operation. And at the end of it, he must get loaded into a giant cannon and shot into the sun. What's happening with this one? Well, I think you guys are going to want to see. All right. So that's what's on the menu. Let's take a look what's going on. Maybe, is it too early? Is it too? No, it's never too early. Let's just do it. This sponsorship is from Rumble, one that is incredibly important to the survival of the company. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built the platform for the small creator, like me. They didn't censor or have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversation or censor opinions on COVID, but they did. Facebook admitted that they fell to pressure from the Biden and Harris administration. Rumble did not. They held the line because they're not dirty, filthy commies is why. They are attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. They are attacked in corporate media. They are attacked by governments like France, also Brazil. They are attacked by brand advertisers who refuse to work with them. Are they companies or are they commies? Can they please make up their minds? Corporate America is fighting to remove speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers. They don't get much of it, and they're too lame and gay. Let's face it, the brand advertisers. Watching our show on Rumble is the most they can ask from you. But if you really believe in this fight, and if you have the means, one major way you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium, just like I did. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. Human right. It's the most important right of all. Why can't those dirty, filthy commies understand that? Rumble is offering $10 off with the promo code STUDIO. Don't forget that, STUDIO, when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium and use promo code STUDIO. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means and you believe in the cause, now is the time to join Rumble Premium. If you don't have the means, we're just happy if you watch us on Rumble, but you know what to do. Earned every penny of that 64 cents. Every penny. Cobra says 10 out of 10 commie hate. Thank you. Radio Streamer says, okay, 10 out of 10, just enough commie hate. Thank you. Hey, we got Izzy in the chat. Good to see. Says, oh, just in time for an ad. Just in time. You're lucky. Let's see. What else you got? Let me read a bit of the chat before we get into the first story. Let's see. All right. All right. The Elon buying MSNBC stuff with Alex Jones and all that. Save that for when we get to that part of the show, because we're going to need. I'm going to want to see that in the chat. Spambot Fodder says, skip the Jaguar ad. It's horrible. No, I'm afraid we're going to have to do it. We have to do it to honor our ancestors. Rosie asks, are the people in the Jaguar ad real or AI? Does it even matter at this point? Does it even matter? Let's see. Rosie says, hey, do we have an ad yet? Yeah, I think you're just in time. Let's see. Rosie says, ad. You got your ad. Hopefully many more for the evening as well. Rosie asks, what is an NPC again? Well, it's a non-player character in a game. So Rumbum said lefty NPCs, yes. So they don't have any kind of agency. They're just constructs of the programming. Like in the Matrix. Let's see. Rosie says, Alex Jones mainstream would be very interesting. It would be very interesting. I mean, it would be like a dream come true to have Alex Jones have a slot on MSNBC. Fantastic stuff. Let's see. Let me just check something quick. So that somebody was asking if there's a show tonight in the chat, and I was getting worried that maybe something wasn't working. So I just checked, and it does seem to be working. All right. Let's see. All right, a few more here, and then we're going to get to it. Rosie says, 10 out of 10, such enthusiasm. Smiles come across. Well, thank you for noticing, Rosie. Rumbum says, fuck yeah, starting off the night with a bang. Radio Baloney felt that commie hate passion, and the rumble love was especially nice. I know, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see. Cobra makes a great point here. Like and subscribe, he says. Like and subscribe. Why don't you do that? If you're not subscribed, just do it now. And also like the channel. Or like the stream. Let's see how we're doing for likes right now. How are we doing? Have we gotten off to a strong... What? Huh? Yeah, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right. Everybody just like the stream right now. Everybody, there's the 22 of us right now. Let's like the stream right now. Everybody, that needs to happen this second. Please. All right. Well, Candle Monkey says, if we don't play the Jaguar ad, we're racist. So I don't want to be a racist. So let's, we better do it. But we're going to be getting to that. We're going to be getting to that. So what's going on here? Will Elon Musk buy MSNBC? Donald Trump Jr. floats funniest idea. So did I highlight something down here? Now we have to, right off the bat, I'm just going to show. However, Comcast has said that neither MSNBC nor CNBC is for sale. The reorganization reflects a broader strategy to separate its traditional cable properties from its streaming and broadcast operations. So they're talking about spinning it off into another company. They're saying that they're not for sale, but when you're spinning something off away from the main company, away from Comcast, that can't be a good sign, though, can it? That can't be a good sign. You kind of get the feeling like, yeah, I mean, it might be up for sale. Somebody's, got enough scratch. It might just be up for sale. So they're saying not, but maybe. Elon Musk floats idea of buying MSNBC. So you know what? I don't actually think we need that tab. So we're going to go to, where is it? Hold on a sec. Libby Emmons says Elon Musk should buy MSNBC and give it to Alex Jones. That would be hilarious. So this is how it all started. Donald Trump Jr. Retweeted this. He says, hey, Elon Musk, I have the funniest idea ever. And he's reacting to this from Wall Street Nav. Comcast is putting MSNBC up for sale. CNN just announced massive layoffs coming. Maybe the new owners will figure out that lying nonstop to your audience is a lousy business model. And Donald Trump Jr. said, hey, Elon Musk, I have the funniest idea ever. And Elon Musk said, how much does it cost? How much does it cost? That's a question, right? How much would it actually cost for MSNBC? Comcast is officially saying that they're not actually putting it up for sale. They're spinning it off. But again, these kind of feel like preliminary things before a sale. So, I mean, it's certainly not a good thing, right? So let's take a look at this. What is the value of a CNN network? So CNN, so I couldn't find any kind of estimates of what MSNBC, what its actual value would be in the time before, I started this stream. But CNN, and here's from the Los Angeles Times, they've got its value around CNN's value, about 4.3 billion. So pre-tax value is in the 6 billion to 7 billion range. Now, I think that CNN would actually be more valuable than MSNBC because it's more global and it's in like every airport in the world, right? I think MSNBC would be worth less than that. So say 4.3 billion, or say 6 billion for MSNBC. Elon paid 44 billion for X. So, I mean, I'm not saying that's like pocket change for Elon, but you have to think that it's doable, right? You have to think that it's doable. I mean, maybe it's worth a lot less than that. There'd be all kinds of behind the scenes power moves to try and avoid selling it to Elon Musk, obviously. But again, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I think the whole thing started off as a joke, but it's Elon, right? It's Elon. Would you be shocked if he ended up getting it? I mean, nobody thought he was actually going to get Twitter. So I think it's very interesting. Let's see what else we got in here. Joe Rogan says he would like to have Rachel Maddow's job if Elon Musk buys MSNBC. Rogan says he will wear the same outfit, glasses, and will tell the same lies. The comment came in response to Musk flirting with the idea of buying the far-left media outlet. So he's responding to Elon Musk, who said, the most entertaining outcome, especially if ironic, is most likely. Joe Rogan said, if you buy MSNBC, I would like Rachel Maddow's job. I will wear the same outfit and glasses, and I will tell the same lies. The same lies. That would be funny. Let's see. How about this? If Elon Musk and Donald Trump Jr. buy MSNBC, should they hire Tucker Carlson as the primetime host? I wonder if he'd even want the job now, to be honest, after going solo. I think he probably enjoys that more, but who knows? Let's see. Of course, if we want some irony, 2 years since MSNBC predicted that Elon's Twitter was on the brink of collapse. Of course they did, because all they do is lie. All they do is speak the opposite of reality.
Elon Musk was supposed to be a vanguard of personal freedom, a genius whose brilliance with rocket ships and electric cars would bring Twitter to space-age greatness. Instead, the microblogging platform that once enabled regular people to speak truth to power, the very powerful networking and organizing tool that helped to herald in the Arab Spring and the summer of racial justice protests, that social media network that made the world a little smaller is now on the brink of collapse. Technologically, economically, and culturally. Elon.
So completely the opposite of reality on every one of those points. Completely wrong. Are we sure that MSNBC isn't worth like 50 cents? Because really that's what it should be worth. I assume it's losing money. I mean, maybe carrier fees, it's turning a profit. I don't know. Maybe there's a bunch of like, I don't know, like deep state money being funneled into it to keep it going, because it's, I think, fairly well accepted at this point that it's basically works in collaboration with intelligence agencies in terms of the narrative control. But really, I mean, how could it be worth anything at this point, really? I mean, if it was sold for $10, I wouldn't be surprised by that either. What else we got here? Hold on. Yeah, so okay, hold on. All right, so we've gotten I think we've gotten to the end of this now. So another example of great work from MSNBC from Colin Rugg here. MSNBC host Joe Scarborough has deleted his bloodbath tweet after getting called out by Elon Musk. This was March 17th. So let's see. Joe Scarborough, Donald Trump's America. Hold on. Donald Trump's America, and he is proud of it. Promised another bloodbath if he loses again. I'm sure that everybody watching this saw the actual clip of Trump talking about how, in fact, talking about the auto industry and how it would be a bloodbath for the auto industry if he doesn't get elected. I'm sure all of us did. Anybody who took the time to watch the 10 seconds of the clip, who took a minute to find the clip and then the 10 seconds to watch it, or the 15 seconds, whatever it was, apparently was a better journalist than somebody who spent, $500,000 at Columbia School of Journalism. Certainly better than Joe Scarborough. Elon said this: January 6th was not a bloodbath by any definition, and Trump was referring to job losses in the auto industry when he used that word. Your post is extremely misleading. That's a nice way of saying you're lying. Either lying or stupid or totally ignorant. Either way, it's astonishing that Joe Scarborough is what, the once respected news people of the Western world have turned into. Shocking, really. Let's see. But yeah, a lot of people are talking about it would be hilarious to get Alex Jones, or to buy it MSNBC and give it to Alex Jones, or to get him on. That would be damn funny. Let's see. What are you guys talking about in the chat? Let's see. Let's go back a little bit. Let's see. And and everybody, don't forget that if you're not subscribed to the channel, there's no better time to subscribe to the channel than right this moment. Also, liking the channel, extremely important and so easy to do. That sense of accomplishment that you will receive from liking the stream, I mean, nothing really beats it. The chat will tell you. It's special. Candle Monkey says, if we don't play the Jaguar ad, we're racist. Yes. Okay, so I've seen that one, and he's quite right there. I feel terrible about the whole thing. Let's see. Izzy says, Alex Jones on MSNBC would break a lot of people. I'm not sure I could handle the salt. Is there such a thing as too much salt? I mean, on food, sure. Right? Or in your Bloody Mary, sure. But in terms of far leftist progressive mental suffering, I'm not sure there's ever too much salt. I don't think there can ever be too much. Commie emotional damage. I'm not sure there can ever be too much salt in that situation. So I think I could handle it. I think I could. And Mikey says, more specifically, not for sale to Elon. Well, see, this is the thing, right? There would be so much that would be a super genuine deep state intelligence agency panic. If Elon didn't just have X, if he had MSNBC too, I mean, that would be, they'd just drone him at that point, I think. Rumbum says spinning, and this is a really good point here, spinning off MSNBC is basically tying off a skin tag to let it die slowly. That's my thoughts as well, right? It's the presage to them just getting rid of it. And it's so toxic. I mean, it's not popular. People aren't watching it. Their viewership dropped by 50% after Trump won. It's completely toxic on there. It needs a total reboot. It needs a new audience as well. So yeah, just kind of, it feels like a preliminary part of a larger plan to just unburden themselves of it. Rosie says, buy MSNBC, give it to Alex Jones. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see. Rosie says, I think it might be worth $7. Yeah, I think you're right. Rosie says, too much salt if your wife is a pillar? Probably too much at that point. All right. JJ Nevada says, Elon, don't waste your money. It's dead already. Well, that's part of the thing too, right? I mean, I don't know if it's making any money or if it's making a little bit or if it's losing money, because you do have the whole carrier fee thing. So that's totally separate from advertising and from ratings. But I can't imagine that it's making a lot of money, if it is, or enough to make up for the toxicity of it. Otherwise, I mean, again, spinning it off, not a good sign, right? Let's see. JJ Nevada says cable news is over. Well, Fox has actually improved its at least over, I think about the last 8 years, Fox News has actually improved its ratings. Now, that is, I think, a large part, cannibalizing from the other cable news, because cord cutting is real. Viewership, the general trend is down, even if, you have Fox, which has actually gone up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, generally speaking, yeah, cable news is on the way out. It is going to die. Let's see. Rumbum says Elon's Twitter outlived that journalist MSNBC career, didn't it? Yeah, he's gone now. Is that Mehdi Hassan, I believe? He's gone now. Let's see. Nevada says, man, did that guy miss the boat? He did. Nevada says, more like Joe Scumbag. And then he amends it. He says, commie Joe Scumbag. Well, I don't think that Joe Scarborough is actually a commie. I think he's just totally soulless and without principle. Let's see. Rumbum says, Alex Jones and Megyn Kelly take over Morning Joe. Telling you it'd be gold. It would be. Now, here's the thing. If Elon did buy MSNBC, he had instead of Joe and Mika, he had Alex and Megyn, and brought on Tucker Carlson, or just had Timcast, from 6 until 7 or something. The ratings would be far higher. Ratings would go through the roof. Can you imagine? Put Dan Bongino on there or something, or just YouTubers. Just put YouTubers on. The ratings will go up. Let's see. And then you wouldn't have to have, Rachel Maddow's $30 million. $30 million? Why, over 5 years? Why? That's insane. Let's see. Cobra says, I would just tell Elon Musk to wait a little longer, because the worse the company gets, the cheaper it will be to buy. The question is, will he be allowed to buy it? Maybe under a Trump administration, he would. If they can really clean house and, drain the swamp, right? But I don't know. Now, they'd probably let Soros buy it in a second right now. Izzy says, to be honest, old media is dead. Not sure it has value beyond the physical assets. Yeah, but again, I don't know the numbers on the carrier fees, because I think that's a big part of how they keep it going. Izzy says, the reason they have to shut down people like Alex Jones is because he's more successful and not controllable. What happened to Alex Jones is a disgrace. It's a disgrace based on 16 minutes of testimony. It's not something that he ever really pushed. I haven't seen all of the footage of him talking about it, but I saw a bunch of the footage from the trial. And he's not actually saying that this definitely happened. It's 16 minutes of content from decades ago. And he was never given a trial, a real trial. It was a judge just said, no, you're guilty. He was never given a jury trial, right? It was just a summary conviction of it, basically, a summary judgment from a judge who obviously was in the bag, right? Obviously just had it in for Alex Jones, the whole thing. I mean, $1.5 billion? $1.5 billion penalty? Really, for 16 minutes? 16 minutes of footage? That's insane. I mean, that doesn't belong in this universe. That's alternate universe, alternate reality insanity. They obviously had it in for him. And I think more than anything, to be honest, it wasn't just about destroying Alex Jones. It was setting an example. We can destroy you for ridiculous reasons. Anybody, $1 billion. You want that? Better be careful what you say. You better be careful what you say. Because at the end of the day, it was a free speech issue. I'm sorry. I mean, it's for things, free speech is for the things you disagree with, as well as the things you agree with. Free speech is for the things that you abhor, as well as the things you love. Otherwise, it doesn't exist. It's meaningless. The words are meaningless. Let's see. All right, let's move on. JJ Vada says, Alex had his First Amendment rights violated. He should be able to say whatever he wants, please. Yeah, this was a shot across the bow just at dissent in general, not just to destroy him. It's ridiculous. I can't understand how this thing hasn't been overturned. It's absurd. It's summary judgment. He never had a trial. Judge just said, nope, you're guilty. And that's it. Now we just go on to the insane penalty, which makes no sense. All right, let's move on. So, how long have we been going? 36 minutes. Well, you know what that means. Well, it doesn't usually mean this, but what the hell? Have you heard of the recent advertising scandal? Let me break it down. The CEO of Rumble, Chris Pavlovsky, recently released an email from Inspire Brands and Dunkin' Donuts. Some people call them woke brands and woken donuts. The email explicitly states the right-wing culture of Rumble is too polarizing. Too polarizing. Oh, dear me. Somebody get them the fainting couch. In other words, Woken Donuts has a problem with right-wing culture and wants nothing to do with it or Rumble or us, apparently, or our money. So here's the solution. Stop buying products that don't support you and start supporting brands that support you. It's pretty easy. The competing coffee brand that we all need to get behind is Rumble's 1775 coffee. For a limited time, Rumble is offering to buy 2 bags of coffee and get one for free. Can you believe that? You buy 2 bags of coffee, you get one for free. Go to 1775coffee.com and enter promo code Duncan. See what they did there? That's cheeky. To get this limited time deal, you know what to do. Well, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Izzy says, I felt this coming on. JJ Vada says, kangaroo court. For Alex Jones, it was a kangaroo court. 100%. It was fixed. It was a total stitch up 100%. Let's see. Nevada says, Rumble rocks. It does. And Nevada says, I love Rumble. I'd love it too. They let me do ad reads, which is awesome. So HBO backs inclusion of Harry Potter author in show based on book series amid accusations of transphobia. So backs the inclusion of the creator of Harry Potter in a show about Harry Potter. How that just seems to make so much sense to me. Not including her would make zero sense to me. She made the whole thing. This incredibly profitable intellectual property. She made it. But, woke people, there's a few fringe weirdos.
Small fringe minority
Of activist lunatics that got really cross at her. Why did they get cross at her, I wonder? Well, let's take a look at this first. HBO has defended its decision to collaborate with author J.K. Rowling on its upcoming Harry Potter television series after being questioned about her women's rights activism, which has enraged the transgender community and its allies. Rowling, a British liberal author, has been a vocal supporter of female-only spaces and has experienced significant criticism as a result. The author has stood firm in the face of years-long backlash, reiterating her stance that she does not support trans-identifying men who believe they are women invading women's spaces. This is why I guess it's like a big deal that HBO is saying, yeah, we want her involved. Yeah, it's like her thing. She made it up. I think it'll help, and we don't care. We don't care about the rest. So trans activists have been harassing her forever. What did she do? What started it all off? Well, let's see. Let's show you. She said this: if sex isn't real, there's no same-sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. I know and love trans people, but erasing the concept of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives. It isn't hate to speak the truth. Well, that doesn't sound so fascisty to me. That seems pretty reasonable. That's from June 6, 2020. The idea that women like me, who've been empathetic to trans people for decades, feeling kinship because they're vulnerable in the same way as women, i.e. to male violence, hate trans people because they think sex is real and has lived consequences is a nonsense. So what she's doing is accurately describing reality. I respect every trans person's right to live any way that feels authentic and comfortable to them. I'd march with you if you were discriminated against on the basis of being trans. At the same time, my life has been shaped by being female. I do not believe it's hateful to say so. So none of this sounds crazy or phobic. It just sounds perfectly reasonable. J.K. Rowling, also always a liberal, totally Trump deranged. I don't know how Trump deranged she is these days, but always just a liberal, get more of an old school liberal, feminist kind of, and that's not enough in progressive woke world. You got to go all the way with them. You got to go right off the cliff with them, or else guess what? You're Nazi. You're the Nazi writer. You're the phobe. Interestingly here, we're going to come back to this. Naomi Wolf at the time wrote something critical of J.K. Rowling. And this is a little rabbit hole we're going to go down further because interesting things happened with Naomi Wolf. So for these perfectly reasonable things that J.K. Rowling said, it just set off a years-long storm of criticism and death threats and moral panic over her. Here, Daniel Radcliffe says, ignoring J.K. Rowling's would be immense cowardice. Let's see, doing the thing that presents exactly zero risk to your career is the brave thing. It feels like the immense cowardice is doing the easy thing, right? Taking the path of least resistance, which is what he's doing here. Siding with her would have had risk. That would have included risk to him, risk to his career, because people would call him a transphobe. So the cowardice, to me, appears to be what he's actually doing there, right? Ignoring J.K. Rowling's he's doing exactly what he needs to do to preserve his place in Hollywood, to keep getting work. That's not bravery. That's not courage. That is the cowardice. Let's see. What's this? HBO stands by J.K. Rowling's on the most ironic day possible. So what's this? That's into just to show you some of the things here that we've got. Let's see. Through accusations of black mold-induced psychosis and being sued by an Olympian, J.K. Rowling has stood firm in her anti-trans beliefs. Spanning the internet countless posts, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So you see the point, right? Just constantly being attacked. And for what? If sex isn't real, there's no same-sex attraction. Well, that's just an accurate description of reality, isn't it? Isn't that what that is? I think that for the activists, for the progressives, for the woke zombies, they get really mad when you accurately describe reality, because there's not really an argument against that. I mean, reality just always has a better argument than like woke delusion or ideological delusion. It just does, because it's real and people will notice that. If you're starving to death, you're going to notice it. It doesn't matter if the commissars tell you that you're getting plenty of food. J.K. Rowling slams activist actors who doxed her during trans rights protests. So what happened here? Let's see, make that a little bigger. Last Friday, my family's address was posted on Twitter by 3 activist actors who took pictures of themselves in front of our house, carefully positioning themselves to ensure that our address was visible. So, yeah, this was from November 22nd, 2021. It's been years of this craziness, constant death threats. I mean, hey, look, with the death threats, I guess that's kind of being famous on the internet. But it's all quite absurd. And what over? What over? If sex isn't real, then there's no same-sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. This all just makes sense to me. It isn't hate to speak the truth. That's not how the lunatics see it. The lunatics do see truth as hate. Anything that doesn't conform to their ideology, we've said it before on this channel, haven't we? We've said it. We said they don't try and fit their ideology into the world. They try and fit the world into their ideology, and they don't care if they break the world to do it. And they don't care how many people they have to break to do it. The outcome, the quality of the outcome isn't important. It's just the spreading the mind virus, the brain infection of progressivism to everybody. That's the goal. As long as it doesn't matter if everybody starves to death afterwards, as long as everybody is conquered by the brain infection, by the mind virus that is wokeness or Marxism or progressivism, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same fucking thing, isn't it? Isn't that obvious by now? Good Lord. Let's see. So now that we've said that, and actually, I'm just going to get rid of some of these other tabs that we had going here because we don't need those anymore and it's clogging up. There we go. All right. So now we've said that. Here's the tweet. See these. I know and love trans people, she says. Like, total bigot, obviously, right? Just because she doesn't agree with every fucking crazy thing that doesn't make any sense. But I wanted to go back down to here. So who is this? This is somebody we've heard about the last few years, who's been well known for a long time, crazy feminist for a long time, Dr. Naomi Wolf. She's quoting J.K. Rowling here. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. She's criticizing this. She says, such a reductive view of women's lived reality. And there is no fixed truth about what sex is. Views of female gender have changed over centuries. They used to think our wombs traveled. Why is okay, so it goes on, just nonsense, right? Let's see. There is no fixed truth about what sex is. There sure is. It's called biology. Views of female gender have changed over centuries. Yeah, pretty much that entire time, nobody thought that chicks had dicks, right? Like, we're getting into some pretty basic stuff here. So biologic reality, right? Reductive view of women's lived reality. So this is from June 10th, 2020. So what happened around that time and what continued to happen? There's a little something called a pandemic, called the COVIDs, called the jabs. Something happened to Naomi Wolf. So this is where she was. This is where she was, a lefty back in June 10th, 2020. Something changed. So there she is criticizing J.K. Rowling for saying totally normal things and then criticizing the totally sane things that J.K. Rowling said. So interesting. Let's see. Naomi Wolf. Let's take a look at her Twitter today. So what has she been talking about? Well, here's something she's saying. I really hope MAGA truly welcomes a big tent and welcomes the LGBTQ community. You don't have to approve of everything someone does in his or her personal life. If you don't, to still love, value, and welcome him or her as allies and friends. I think we all agree with that. It's just such a... Anyway, let's... But look, all of a sudden she's retweeting Colin Rugg. This is interesting. Representative AOC fumes after Speaker Johnson restricted trans people from using Capitol bathrooms. says the decision is endangering girls of all kinds. Well, maybe she likes this, maybe she doesn't like that, but seems strange she would Colin Rugg retweet. That's a bit weird. That's not supposed to be on the left. Let's see. Now, what's this? What's this? Here's Peter McCullough. She's retweeting something from Peter McCullough here. Dr. Peter McCullough highlights how a U.S. Surgeon General's groundbreaking report exposed the dangers of cigarettes, proving that public health leadership can change history. What lessons does this hold for today? So he is an anti, or somebody who has been warning about the mRNA vaccines and certainly the mandates. Interesting. She's retweeting this. Breaking: Vladimir Putin claims he is now entitled to use a newly tested hypersonic missile to target the UK. Keir Starmer is dangerous and needs to be replaced immediately. So that doesn't seem like something that a lefty would retweet. Here she is here talking about Keir Starmer. Respect orders. Is this a joke account? Please tell me yes. Talking about Keir Starmer and talking about antisocial behavior laws in the UK, Orwellian laws. This is all very interesting, isn't it? Here she's retweeting Nancy Mace. We see you and we stand with you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, Nancy Mace. Well, what is she saying?
I just wanted to take a minute and say how profoundly grateful I am to Nancy Mace for standing up for women and girls in America. The amount of death threats and rape threats and disgusting comments directed towards women like Nancy, women like us, women like me, who dare to tell these men no. I joke about it all the time. I post that.
Talking about men and women's spaces. So Naomi Wolf just reposted that. Isn't that interesting? She's reposting Gays Against Groomers. Breaking: a California school is silencing female athletes for defending their rights, comparing their Save Girl sports shirts to swastikas. Of course, typically hysterical. The message is clear. Woke political slogans encouraged. Speaking up for fairness in sports censored. Fairness is now bigotry. She's reposting Gays Against Groomers. So let's go back. This is where she was in 2020, talking about how the reductive view of women's lived reality, criticizing J.K. Rowling, no fixed truth about what sex is, seems to have had a major change. From The Atlantic, and this is from September 12th, 2023, from feminist to right-wing conspiracist. Interesting. What Naomi Wolf's Odyssey can teach us about seeing patterns where they don't exist. Now, this was all about her skepticism about the vaccines, the mRNA vaccine, about the Pfizer jabs. How about this? So this is from, when is this from? October 30th, 2024. So very recently. Liberal icon Naomi Wolf endorses Trump. He's being more inclusive. So this is interesting, isn't it? Did I highlight anything down here? I don't think I did. Liberal icon and feminist author Naomi Wolf endorsed former President Donald Trump, highlighting how he was being more inclusive. Where did he say this? He said this. Where did she say this? She said this in an interview with Steve Bannon, the host of the War Room podcast. Wolf added that the Republican Party had become the unity party and Trump was leading it. So she had previously worked as a presidential campaign advisor for former President Bill Clinton and former Vice President Al Gore. Now she's supporting Trump. She's supporting Trump now. She supported him in the election. So she is now out. Now the left hates her. She's a far right-wing conspiracist, right? So I find this very interesting, and it's a trend I think we've been seeing along with, say, like Tulsi and RFK Jr. and Elon Musk and others, Brett Weinstein, a bunch. That the left, the progressives, the lunacy of wokeism, of progressivism, of cultural Marxism is driving people away. It's driving liberals away. All those people who just identified as being on the left and being liberals eventually had to just acknowledge the fact that the Democrat Party, or modern leftism generally across the West, is no longer liberal. It's illiberal. And if they want to speak their mind, they've got to go to the other side. That's where the unity is. That's where the heterodoxy is. That's where you don't have to agree with everybody on everything, but you just find shared things that you agree with. I just thought this was fascinating. When I was researching this, I saw this from Naomi Wolf and read it and went, boy, she's gone 180. It's another one that's gone 180. Another person who's been driven away from the left. It's kind of fascinating. And now you see J.K. Rowling, HBO. I mean, a couple of years ago, she probably would not have been welcome. Would not have been welcome. Because she was, hold on. I got to fact check something quick. Let's see. Fact check. Hold on one second. Here we go. J.K. Rowling isn't in the Harry Potter 20th anniversary. No one said don't. I was asked to do it and decided not to. Entertainment Weekly had previously reported that Rowling had been invited to participate in the special, but that her team determined the archived comments from Reddit were adequate. Okay, so hold on a second. I thought she hadn't been invited. Okay, she says it wasn't her choice to appear in the 20th anniversary. I wonder if that was because of stuff like this, of the actors from the Harry Potter films, denouncing her as a transphobe. Very interesting. But a couple of years ago, probably would have given more pause for thought for HBO. Especially since HBO was putting out some pretty woke shit back then as well. But no worries now. No worries. Feels like something. I mean, obviously, we've seen Trump win, right? That's a major thing. Not just win, but win in a landslide in the sense that he got the popular vote. He got the electoral college vote. He's got the Senate. He's got the House. He's got everything. Seems to be signaling finally a real concrete shift, a serious shift. We have the weird, we're still going to get the strange odysseys. Where is it? Like the Jaguar thing. Whatever this is. You're still going to get it. But it feels like we've maybe reached an inflection point where it's just enough now. Everybody just says, corporations look at the popular vote and say, well, there's more non-crazy people than there are crazy people now. So maybe we'll just go back to marketing to the non-crazy people because there's more of them. I don't know, but it's interesting. All right, so that was a long one. Let's see. Okay, so you know what? We are now an hour in. And I think it's time. I hope Much Joy joins us over on Rumble, because right now we're going to have to shut down the YouTube part of the stream for censorship reasons, for all kinds of frivolous, stupid copyright issues that inevitably you get on YouTube. So we're going to cut it short at 1 hour on YouTube and continue on Rumble, probably for another 4 hours, somewhere around there anyway. But YouTube, we have to cut it short. Some people call it Stalin Tube. A lot of people call it that, I heard. But anyway, if you're watching right now on YouTube, please join us over on Rumble. We'll be going for hours and hours still. And the chat is fantastic. Join in the chat. Everybody's super friendly. You will love it. But otherwise, I will see you on Sunday. Good night. All right, there we go.